السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. ازيكم اخواتي وحبايبي في كل مكان في الوطن العربي؟ كل الحب والاحترام والتقدير لحضراتكم، خاصة المملكة المغربية الشريفة، المملكة المغربية العربية. هتقول لي أمازيغية؟ الأمازيغية العربية اللي بحبها جدا، اللي بتشرف اني بتكلم عنها. ولكن قبل ما اتكلم عن فيديو النهارده، اتمنى من حضراتكم كلمه طيبه، كلمه تصل من القلب للقلب، ودعاء ليا بفضل الله تعالى ان تدعوا لي ان ربنا يرزقنا ويوسع رزقنا ويكرمنا على ايديكم، وتكونوا انتم السبب في ان احنا ننجح ونتغير من مكان لمكان، والاحدث والاحسن يكون على ايديكم بفضل الله تعالى. تعالوا مع بعض نسمع فيديو النهارده تسبب في إثارة كبيرة جدا على محركات البحث، وقررت ان اجيبه لحضراتكم نتكلم عنه وعن احداثه. ولكن قبل ما نتكلم عنه، اتمنى من اخواتي وحبايبي واصدقائي اللي بهتم بيهم جدا وبدور على محتواهم ان هم ينزلوا يكتبوا رأيهم ويقولوا الرأي الامثل، الرأي الطيب، الرأي اللي يستحق انه يقال حتى لو كان بالسلب، لان ده مهم جدا ان احنا نطور من محتوانا من خلال آرائكم اللي بتقدموها لنا. هنشوف الفيديو مع بعض ويلا بينا.
Islamic teaching behind of it. I think it has a lot to do with the culture and what was, what the traditions that was taught down and down and down for different generations. For example, you will always have this young boy willing to take your groceries up the stairs. One time in my last apartment, I was on the 4th floor. I went to the grocery store and the elevator was broken. First time I saw the guy, and he grabbed my bags for me. He took them all the way up to my door. May Allah bless him. That was so sweet of him. That really took a lot off my shoulders. Like, I was gonna call my husband to come and get the bag, but I didn't even need to, because this gentleman took it upon himself to take my grocery bag to my store. And another thing that happened to me was, after the prayer on Jummah, I was waiting outside the masjid with my babies, waiting for my husband to come out. And then all of a sudden, this man came up to me and he had his hand out. And I was wondering, what is he doing? And then I just put my hand up to see what he needed. And he dropped some dirhams in my hand. So I will always tell my husband, I can make money easily. All I have to do is go stand up in the masjid, because there will always be someone willing to give you something. There's one sister as well. She was asking for help. And even though she was, the hand underneath, she was willing to, hand over her candy to my son. But I told him to give it back because it's bubble gum, and that's something that I don't do in my home. But the thing is, she was willing to give him some gum, even though she was in need of food herself. And another thing that really stuck with me was, there was this market guy. And we went to the market, exploring our neighborhood, just getting to know it. And we went with our kids to the market for a stroll and to get some things. And the first thing this market guy did was ask my children what's their name. And then they gave them bananas. And then he will let them eat strawberries as much as they want, and just keep feeding them fruits and fruits and fruits. Feeding them fruits. Okay, I got distracted. And that's something that I didn't need to pay for. So of course, I did my crazy shopping at his stall just for his generosity. And it wasn't like a one-time secluded experience. Every time we go back to the market, he will call out to my son and to my daughter and tell them, come, give them an apple, give them an orange, a banana, fruits, so just keep feeding them. So yeah, the generosity is unmatched. So another quality I want to speak on is that they're very trusting. And there's some people that you can also trust. For example, the delivery service guy for Domino's. Let's just do this because, yeah. Anyway, so the delivery guy for Domino's, I had my credit card and I was going to pay for my pizza with my card. And he didn't bring the machine. So what he did was tell us to keep the pizza. He's going to come back later, and then we can pay for it then. So he willingly let us keep the pizza, not knowing if we will open the door for him when he comes back or not. But at the same time, he knew where we lived, but that's not the point. He let us keep the pizza and eat it, and then he came back later for his payment, which is ridiculous because that would never happen in America. That would never happen, I don't know. You know, when you go to the store, you buy what you need and you leave. But he left us with our pizza without paying, which is crazy to me. Speaking about stores, there have been many times that we shopped at the small grocers, and if we didn't have enough cash on us, they would let us go with the items and trust that we will come back and pay for our groceries. It was with any random small business, they always had this trust that, okay, if I give you this thing, you're going to come back and pay for it. So like most times when people hear about no stealing is happening, like in Saudi Arabia because of the loss that they had, it's the same thing here in Morocco. There was this brother that we knew. He was a little on the humble side, and he had a little his store that he used to make his daily money for his daily food and whatever. And he would leave all of his things that he wanted to sell on this little cardboard box thingy, as well as his phone. And he would go anywhere he needed to go. Whenever he had to do something, he would just leave it. And he would always come back to everything being in its spot. His phone being in its spot and stuff like that. So yeah, they trust here a lot. There's little to no crime here. Yes, you will have these one-off situations, but in general, Morocco is a very peaceful country. The crime rate is pretty low, and everyone is a Muslim. Well, majority of the country is Muslim, which makes it easier for me to stay here with my family and raise my kids. Another thing is that these people are very helpful. Moroccan people are very helpful. So like whenever we're going traveling and whenever me and my husband will go traveling with our kids.
شفتم بقى ان احنا لما بنيجي نتكلم عن حاجة تخص مجتمعاتنا العربية او المغربية او الامازيغية، ايه اللي بيحصل بالظبط؟ بنشوف اراء، وفي ناس بتخش تكتب كلام قد يكون سلبي عن المملكة المغربية الشريفة، وان المملكة دي ما كانتش طيبة، وان امير المؤمنين اصبح غير امير المؤمنين، وان ولي العهد تغير من مكانه وما الى ذلك، وكلام كتير ممكن يقال حتى لو ملوش دخل بالموضوع. كل ده دايما بقوله لحضراتكم، علشان كده بقول لكم يا جماعة ادخلوا اكتبوا رأيكم، ما تدوش فرصة للناس اللي مش حابة للمملكة المغربية الشريفة يكون ليها مكانة كبيرة داخل المجتمع العربي، واللي دايما بيبصوا عليكم بعينيهم الصغيرة ويبحثوا عن أخطائكم وينشروها علشان يقولوا ان المملكة المغربية الشريفة غير جيدة أو غير صالحة تماما. ولكن دائما وأبدا نحن كمصريين، أنا كمصري بتكلم عن نفسي، محب البلد الثاني المملكة المغربية الشريفة، وأبحث دائما أن أجيب موضوعات مهم تمس الشارع والشعب المغربي الطيب العريق الودود المحترم اللي بتشرف أني اتعرفت عليه وأن لي أصدقاء منهم كتير جدا. شكرا ليكم، شكرا بالزاف، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.